When pigment volume concentration is less than the critical pigment volume concentration, we are able to get glossy finish because the binder portion is more. When pigment volume concentration is greater than critical pigment volume concentration, that is in this case, we have lot of gaps or empty structures due to an insufficient polymer. Compared to the pigments. So the presence of air may cause loss of local connectivity. That is, the binder loses its continuity. That results the change in the property of dry coating. It means there is an increased porosity. So this results the matte finish or satin finish. Matte or satin finish. And that is why such type of coatings are recommended for indoor applications. When PVC is equal to CPVC, it results a continuous form. It means the pigment is soaked in the right amount of polymer to fill the gaps between the particles. And the polymer and pigment are correctly interconnected in order to form a continuous film. So based on the PVC, we can have different types of finishes. Now let me discuss about the pigment volume concentration, that is in terms of percentage for different types of coating. Here this is the type of coating. This is the PVC. For automotive clear coat, the pigment volume concentration is less than 5%. Almost there is no pigment at all, but even then you can say pigment volume concentration. And for the high gloss white top coat, high gloss white top coat, the pigment volume concentration should be 15 to 25%. And for anti-corrosive primer, so anti-corrosive primer, it will be 25 to even 65%. And for interior wall finish or matte finish, matte wall finish, it will be greater than 85%. So this is the way you have to judge our pigment loading in a paint. In fact, in the low PVC formulations, the binder, let me consider the binder matrix. So this is the low PVC. So here the pigment particles can be here and there, low PVC, and you can find the distance between them is larger. Are you able to follow? And this is the binder matrix, and this is the pigment. But in the case of high PVC, there will be large amount of pigment with shorter distance. So here the pigment, that is the distance between the pigment is less, longer, large distance. And here it will be much closer, shorter distance. Okay, and these are all the pigment, and this is the binder or medium. And let me explain about other parameters. What could be the consequences if there is a problem with the PVC? It results as the paint defect. Let me consider, see, here we have the optimum level, and the gloss will be reduced like this by loading the pigment. And this is the critical pigment volume concentration, CPVC. And when the pigment is more, let me say we have got some pigment, and we have some binder. Okay, and this is the range of the critical pigment volume concentration. Here you have some pigment like this, and here the pigment concentration is more. Okay, the pigment concentration is more here. Here less. Okay, now listen. So this is the pigment concentration, PVC. From left to right it increases. So in the lower case means there will be less pigment. In the higher case there will be more pigment. When it crosses the critical pigment volume concentration, now what happens? The gloss is reduced like this. This is the gloss. So by increasing the pigment volume concentration, when it exceeds the CPVC, the gloss is reduced like this. So if you want to improve the gloss, you have to reduce the pigment, but increase the solid content of the binder. And CPVC is the critical. This limits the dosage of pigment, and here more amount of pigment. So as we go from left to right, the PVC increases, and if there is more pigment, means it results in voids. Are you able to follow? And there will be more permeability. So with the increase of pigment, there will be more permeability of paint or film. And this may cause, in the case of regular paint, if it is more, means now this will also cause blistering. So here the blistering takes place. Blistering means that is something like burst open of film. The film is looking like you will have some crocodiling effect also. Okay, so I think this would be the best illustration for explaining the PVC and its impact on glass and other paint defects. Suppose if it is too matte means there will be water permeability. It will absorb water, it will absorb oxygen, it will absorb the air from the atmosphere. Okay. So low PVC means the transparency will be more. So this is the lower PVC part and this is the high PVC part. So lower the PVC, higher will be the transparency. Therefore, CPVC is the limiting factor for a normal paint. So do you understand this? I'll share with you the blistering part of it. You just look at it. This is the blistering. Okay, blistering of paint.